everyone, this is Vicky from Vivid Talks. Today I'm bringing on a very special guest, Xander from Romania. He works with a lot of video game companies such as Riot Games with League of Legends to create some of their animation and splash art for their games. I want to bring him on so he can share some of his insight about his creative journey. I want to welcome Xander to Vivid Talks today. He is an amazing motion graphics artist. Xander, would you like to introduce yourself and let us know what kind of work you do?
I'm Xander. This is my internet nickname. My name is actually Alexander. I'm a 28 years old motion graphics artist.
Wow, lots of experience.
Yeah, I've actually started learning this discipline when I was 13 years old, back in 2007, I think, when I finally convinced my parents to give me an internet connection.
Oh, did you use dial-up back then?
Yeah, I think it was dial-up. It was a really bad connection, about 600 kilobytes per second. It took me, I don't want to go back to that time.
We have our high-speed internet nowadays. We're spoiled. So what made you start becoming a motion graphics artist? Like you said, you got your internet when you were young and that's when you started, right?
I came across a website called Creative Cow.
Oh, okay.
Sounds a bit silly. And there was a guy over there, Andrew Kramer. He was doing all kind of cool stuff with effects like text, transitions. And I was like, hey, this is really cool. I think I can do this too. And he launched his website, Video Copilot, and I was going through all of his tutorials. At first, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just copy pasting every step he did. After 15 years, it got me where I am now.
Wow, so everything's self-taught. You kind of just learned yourself by searching the web and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. When you first started, what kind of program did you use?
Yeah, it's Adobe After Effects. I think it was CS1 or CS2, one of the earliest versions. I had a really bad computer. I didn't know what I was doing, but it was fun.
What got you motivated to continue?
Ooh, that's a tough one. At the beginning, it was mainly the online community. Everything I was doing, I was sharing on DeviantArt. That was one of the earliest art sharing platforms. And they always came with positive feedback. They were encouraging me and I was kind of happy. I was doing free requests for people animating stuff, like tiny images, like avatars. And it was fun. It kind of felt nice to be useful.
That's cool. Yeah, I remember the DeviantArt platform back in the days too. Fast forward 15 years, now you're actually working for game companies creating motion graphics arts for them, correct?
Right now I'm working with different video games companies and they use this sort of work to make advertisement campaigns. They put these animations on YouTube trailers, Facebook banners, Facebook posts, Twitter, Instagram, I don't know.
Whatever for their marketing campaign, right?
Yeah, marketing. Advertisement mainly.
Are there any projects that was one of your favorite ones you can talk about?
I think they were all favorites, especially when I used to work for Riot, but there was a particular one, the most challenging. It took me about 3 months to finish it.
Oh, wow.
I think it was the season start 2018. And that was probably the last login I did for them since they've moved on and they don't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Oh, and why was that challenging?
Well, it was a lot of transition through characters like Yasuo, Blitzcrank. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah. I guess it's tough and lots of animation, right?
It was a lot of characters to animate. It was a lot of space between them in 3D space. And it was really hard because After Effects, it's a really unoptimized software. So it's not real time. It's not GPU accelerated. It's just on CPU and you kind of get some sort of a slideshow when you're working with it. If you ever seen Microsoft PowerPoint, that's kind of how it looks like with After Effects. You got to be frame by frame. You need to preview it and it's really, really slow.
Oh, wow. So you need a really powerful computer to run your software, right? So do you usually upgrade a lot of your gear? Do you have a really powerful rig to run your motion graphics?
Absolutely. One of the most important things you need for your rig is the CPU and the amount of RAM. The GPU doesn't matter too much because there are little to no plugins that use GPU acceleration. So you need something with a lot of cores like a Ryzen CPU and at least 64 gigs of RAM.
So can you tell us a little bit about your workflow when you're creating a project? How do you start your project and what's the process of finishing it?
Personal projects or professional?
Whichever one you want to talk about or both.
I'm going to talk about personal projects a bit because those are, I think, the most challenging.
Okay,
when I'm doing personal projects, I'm trying to improve with every piece. First of all, I need to find really good artwork. Going through ArtStation, if I find something really good, I contact the creator. If he collab, he's usually providing a PSD file.
Mm-hmm.
If not, he just allows me to use a JPEG, and then I start preparing the art for animation in Photoshop. You need a graphic tablet of any sort, is good. Sometimes I'm using just the mouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and afterwards you gotta bring that Photoshop file into After Effects and animate the character, and then make the VFX and post-processing.
So how long does your personal projects usually take you? You said your most challenging professional one took you about 3 months, right?
Yeah,
How long does it take for you to complete a personal project?
1 month was the longest it took, somewhere close to a month. Most of them are taking between 2 and 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's because I'm not working continuously. I'm working about 2 to 3 hours a day. Next day, you wake up with fresh eyes and you observe what you did. Then you start noticing the mistakes. Then you start noticing what you could improve to make the animation better.
Right, because sometimes you stare at the screen for too long, you start like missing all of the details. Can you tell us a little bit about one of your favorite personal projects you worked on?
It was the Snowdown 2019.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was a collaboration between three artists. Myself, Alexander Reptaki, he's a musician. He made a
Oh, okay.
soundtrack for us.
Cool.
And Roana Peroz, she did the illustration. So we did something that Riot stopped doing. And it
Oh.
was like one of the most exciting projects. It was really well received by the community. It went like boom. It even had an ArtStation post about us.
What was your most challenging part in working with that project?
Challenging.
Like everything was challenging.
Pretty much everything is challenging, yeah. The most challenging part was bringing life into the scene, especially with the poros.
Oh, the cute
You know,
little
those
poros.
little
round,
fluffy
fluffy.
creatures.
Yeah. It's because you had a lot of them in there. That's why it was kind of difficult to animate them.
Bringing life into 2D characters is harder than it looks. Sometimes you need to use in real life references. It takes a lot of time just to tweak one of those things. So it can take you up one day to animate a single poro.
Wow. And how many poros did you have in your video?
That one, I think it was 5 of them.
Wow, that's a lot of work. But I'm glad it turned out really good. Is there any new projects you're working on right now, like a personal project or with work?
I'm working on a fan animation for League of Legends. If
Okay,
you're
yeah.
familiar with the new champion, Seraphine.
Yes, yes. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing that.
The-
Is there anything you can disclose to us that you're working on?
I'm actually doing that live on Twitch with the community. I'm
Oh,
not doing anything
cool.
privately about that animation because I need the feedback straight from the community, how they feel about the animation. Maybe they have something I want to change in real time. So some people would be like, hey, you should have done this some other way. So I wish I could have done more projects in this fashion. But most of the companies make you sign an NDA and yada, yada, yada. You cannot show anything.
Right, because you can live stream that and get like feedback from the community.
Mhm.
So how does that work with like the professional companies? Like what do you find most challenging? Like you said, you can't get feedback from people, right?
Well, with video games companies, you definitely have to follow the requests of the art director. So that's pretty challenging because most of them don't know how this discipline works and they might request things that are not possible to be done, like a difficult turn, or they want an action that doesn't work. Sometimes you spend hours and hours trying to explain why an action shot is not appropriate for this kind of animation, like something in midair, frozen in time. How would you animate that?
Yeah. What would you say would be your proudest moment of your motion graphics career?
I think the portfolio,
The portfolio building?
the process, like some of them contain some behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those are, I think, the things I'm the most proud of, the way I've built my portfolio.
Oh, so you're saying like some of like the time lapse of how you did the motion animation, right?
I was actually doing that on the boat when I met you.
Oh, yeah. This is funny, guys. We actually met on a cruise and he was a photographer. We were just hanging out and we're like, let's get a photo with the guy with the backdrop. So we took some photos and somehow we started chatting because my friends were all photographers. I mean, I was a photographer too. So we started chatting gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow the topic of cosplay came up. You asked if you done League of Legends cosplay. I'm like, oh yeah, I've done League of Legends cosplay. And then you start talking about how you did like League of Legends motion graphics for Riot Games. I'm like, Whoa, let's exchange contacts. That was, like you said, I think like 4 or 5 years ago. I think we're just trying to get some experience traveling the
I
world.
still
That's
have
why
this.
Oh my god, that's my card! I have a new version now, but it's a little not safe for work to show.
Oh.
That's so cool, you still have my card.
Yes, it's gonna be there for many years. Maybe when I meet you again in real life, hey, here's a card. Yeah, I'm gonna make a collection.
This is Gen 5, the one I have right now. Yours is Gen 2.
Where's the Gen 1?
Oh gosh, that was a long time ago.
Do you still keep those like yourself?
I do. I keep it for myself. If you really want some, I'll send some to you specially. You can have all 5
Please do.
generations. Do you have business cards that you give to people, or like how do you usually find work with people? Is it like more of an online portfolio, or do you physically give out business cards to people?
It would be really tough to find clients in Romania. Most of them don't know
What motion
this,
graphics?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So most of your clients are basically in US.
They either come from YouTube, ArtStation, Behance, one of these platforms, or some sort of referral system because people talk to each other.
And you've been pretty busy this year, right?
Oh my damn. It was the busiest year of my life.
Wow. Well, congratulations that you got a lot
Thanks
of
a lot.
work this year.
And next year to come, I already have 8 projects scheduled for January and
Wow.
February. So I better take advantage of this little holiday because I need to recharge my batteries.
So are you going to be putting some of your personal projects on hold then for a little bit, or did you get a chance to work on any personal projects this year?
The ones I finished this year are already on YouTube. The only project I still have in works for is the Seraphine one.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And others are pending, but I don't know if I'll have the time for them.
I can't wait to see the Seraphine one. Do you have a date that you want to release that, or it's just whenever you guys get to work on it?
Whenever it's ready.
So what is your next goal that you have now that like business is booming for you?
The next goal would be to find more people and train them, join the industry. This sort of animation can help you not only in motion graphics, but there are a lot of softwares that are coming out with real-time capabilities like Spine, like Dragon Bones. You can translate this knowledge to the other softwares, and there's a high demand for this kind of animation, especially in mobile games.
Oh, right. Have you ever taught people before? Like, do you have a course, or you just kind of private teaching with some of your friends that you know?
I have a couple of guys that learned from me, and now they work for me.
Oh, nice. They have a good team going on.
Yeah, a little team, but I need more people.
Have you thought about ever like creating some sort of course so you can expand your teaching realm to more students?
Yes, I thought about that, but as I said, it's kind of hard to balance things out. When I'm free, I kind of want to, like, I'm a gamer.
Relax.
I want to play
Oh.
video games. I want to watch movies, so it's kind of hard to find time for all 3 of them, like making a course, enjoy my free time, and work. I have to take it little by little.
Oh, you gotta relax too, right? And don't work yourself too much. What would be a good piece of advice you give someone that wants to start in this industry?
Small steps. If you want to get into motion graphics, you need to take small steps. Don't jump into intensive scenes with lots of characters, with a lot of VFX. Just learn how to do small things at a time. If you get into everything at once, you will find yourself overwhelmed and you will probably quit in the first week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because there's so much technicalities to learn, right?
Yeah.
Good.
Do you want to do motion graphics?
I actually have done some on my phone. I actually have to show you. I thought it was pretty cool. I had a commission with a video game company. It's from the mobile game Alice. I just decided, because I was being really creative, to motion animate my cosplay photo that I took of myself.
Wow. Did that turn out well?
I think so. Okay, let me look for it. I thought it turned out really cool in my mind. I don't have access to After Effects. I do it on this program called Wordle on my phone. It's a free app, but you have to pay for extra
DLCs?
DLCs. Yeah, I don't know what they're
Is it
called.
owned by EA Games?
Yes, they're called DLCs, I guess, like extra add-ons if you want like hair movement or flame flickering.
Phones are so powerful nowadays.
I know.
I remember around 2008, 2009, when we had Messenger on a phone, it was the coolest thing ever. If you remember Yahoo Messenger.
I never used Yahoo Messenger.
Oh, damn. If you had Yahoo Messenger on your phone, you were basically the coolest kid in school.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I found it. No judging, okay? Did it with my fingers on my phone.
Quite nicely done. I didn't know
Oh,
like
thank
phones could do this.
you. I think I spent probably like 20 minutes on my phone working on this.
And it's looped already. Wow. If it was 10 years ago, you would have fooled me. I was like, hey, you should be hired by Riot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, thank you. I didn't know I had those skills.
One day, a computer will replace me.
Oh, no. Thank you so much, Xander, for coming on today, and I look forward to seeing all of your future animation, motion graphics work.
Thanks for having me. It was an honor being here. I can't wait to see the video online. My friends will be like, ha ha ha, Xander.
That's you. Cool, thank you.